In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the exact two funnel system that high ticket coaches are using to scale past income ceilings and to seven figures. Lucas here. If you don't know who I am, I'm on a mission to help high ticket coaches escape the one-on-one sales call grind and sign 20 new high ticket clients in 90 days through challenge funnels. Without further ado, let's just get straight into the explanation of this video. So the two funnel system that I was talking about was challenge funnels and call funnels. And if you're anything like other coaches, you've probably been told that you need to focus on one funnel or only use one strategy to scale to $1 million. But that's complete BS. I think it was Russell Brunson who originally came up with this concept. Scale one funnel to seven figures, and then you can start developing other funnels. Well, that's complete bullshit. And that's because of stimuli hyperesthesia. Yes, that's a big confusing word, but honestly, it's not that confusing. I'll explain it now. It's basically the idea put forward by Charlie Morgan that once someone becomes too prone or they've seen a stimuli, aka a funnel technique, like an outreach strategy, too many times, they become numb to that stimuli and it just stops working. So because everybody runs VSL funnels and they have for the last 5 years, your market and your ideal clients have seen that hundreds of times before and they know exactly what's going to happen. And if you're too focused on one simple funnel or your full like journey trying to scale to seven figures, it's going to be so obvious that you're just trying to sell something and it's going to become boring because your ideal client have seen it so many times. So this is why you need to incorporate different types of funnel strategies. So if you look here, we're talking about call funnels and challenge funnels. And I'm sure you probably know what they both are by now, but if not, here's a quick explanation. Call funnels, they're like your direct approach. So someone sees your ad or your content, they book a call, you pitch them, they buy or you don't. It's transactional, it's quick and clean. Very simple. You've probably been through a call funnel yourself. You've probably bought through a call funnel or you've sold someone through a call funnel before. And the challenge funnels, these are basically going to be your authority play. You're positioning yourself as the expert. You're building relationships over 3 to 5 days. You're handling objections in a group setting. Then you're making your offer to a warmed up audience on the back end. And basically, they work hand in hand. And I've got a Miro board for this, which I'm going to open the link to now. So hopefully the screen will be okay and it'll load nice and quick. Okay, so as you can see on the screen here, you've got what we call, or what I call the traffic friction scale. And on the low end of the friction scale, you can see here, we've got the call funnels. And then on the high end of the friction scale, we've got the challenge funnels. So let's actually go into what this means. So in a low friction means there's going to be basically a lot more people coming through. So the volume of leads coming through is going to be way higher. But because there's low or little to no friction in a call funnel, it's not that big of a time investment or anything like that. The intent is typically lower of these call funnels. So it looks something like this. So you've got high volume with low intent, whereas it's quite the opposite for challenges. You get a high intent of buyers because there is friction. They've got to spend 3 to 5 days of time with you. You might even need to pay on the front end, but it's a big investment. 3 to 5 days, if you especially if you're working in a sophisticated market, for someone to spend 3 to 5 days with you, it's going to be a lot. But so the volume is going to be lower, but the intent is going to be way higher. Okay, so you're probably wondering right now how this like actually attributes to making money and what this actually means when putting these two funnels together and scaling it to seven figures. But what we need to do is to look at something called the interest spectrum. And as you can see on the y-axis here, you've got the different levels of interest. And I'll not write this all out because it's quite hard to write sideways using a mouse as well. And then along the x-axis, you've got funnels. So we'll just write fun for funnels. And then, like I said here, you've got the different levels of interest. You've got curious, general, interested, and convinced. And then along the bottom, you've got the funnel. So let's just look at the low friction funnel here. And obviously, this line here, if you haven't noticed already, this is where the money's made. Convinced is where people buy. And typically through call funnels, the majority of leads, obviously, there's going to be some exceptions that just go to general interest and don't ever end up buying. So you'll know this yourself. What is the close rate? What is your close rate? And are you typically just getting general level of interested, general levels of interested leads through your call funnel? Let me know. And then obviously in challenges, because the friction's higher and the intent is higher, you're going to be getting more convinced leads. As you can see here, it's going to be going through and this is where you're going to be collecting the cash. Obviously, like I said, there is some anomalies. And let's talk about where this gets really important. So if you're currently running your call funnel and you're only sticking to that, so let's just say it's a VSL to call funnel or it's a VSL to application to call funnel, we'll need to go back at the friction scale. But this is quite a low friction strategy. So you're bringing the volume in, but low intent buyers. And you're trying to enforce high intent outcomes on low intent buyers. So it doesn't always work. And it takes a lot more anomalies, like we were talking before. It's not as common for people to go into the convince where you make the money. It takes a lot more anomalies and a lot more, I say it, low leverage work to get lots of leads and lots of payments so you can actually scale to 7 figures. So what we need to be doing is using this and determining that you need to use both kinds of funnels. So hopefully that makes sense there. And these two work hand in hand because of the traffic friction scale. And if we look at this next part, which is the marriage strategy, and this is the strategy that I've invented that makes these two funnels perfect for each other, hence the name marriage, lol. I don't know why I actually said lol there, but moving on. The strategy focuses heavily on the leads from the core funnel that didn't buy. So if you go back to Miro board, you're going to see a lot of leads who don't buy. And hopefully in your CRM, you've got them tagged or something like that so you can retarget them. But anyways, here's the play. Your core funnel basically becomes your lead generation machine and your market research tool, the infinite feedback loop, which we're going to go into down here in a second. But I just want you to think about it. Every single person who books a call but doesn't buy is still a warm lead. They put their hand up and they're basically showing interest, but something has stopped them. Maybe it's timing, maybe it's price, maybe it's that they weren't convinced that you were the right person. Now, instead of letting those leads go cold, you can retarget them into your challenge funnels. And these people already know you who you are, they've heard your pitch, but they may just need a different approach or different timing. So that's why the conversions of challenges are so much higher and so much better. And if we look at the infinite feedback loop, this is where it becomes a real no-brainer. Every objection that comes up on your sales calls, basically every question, every hesitation, every I need to think about it, that is perfect for your challenge content. And let me explain what this is like. So your core funnel is literally handing you the roadmap for what to cover in your challenges. You're getting real-time market feedback literally on exactly what's stopping people from buying. And then you can address those specific objections inside of your challenge training. So now your challenge, it's not just generic content, it's laser targeted to the exact concerns that your market has. And that's because they told you directly on the sales calls or your sales team what's stopping them, what they don't like, what their desires are, what they're struggling with, literally everything. And this creates a feedback loop that just keeps getting stronger over time. The more calls you run, the better your challenge content becomes. The better your challenge content, the higher the conversion rates. The higher conversion rates means the more revenue, which means the more ad spend, which means more calls, which gives you more objection data. So hopefully you can see how this is just a massive feedback loop. And the more of this stuff that you do, the more money you're going to make. And these two funnels, I can't put in the words. If this hasn't made you realize, these two are so good together. And literally here, like I've said in this meme, they are literally a power couple. Challenge funnels and book a call funnels. And honestly, that's all for today's video. It's just to sell you on the idea that you need to be running challenge funnels and call funnels together. And look, if you're one of those coaches doing the same discovery call downs every single day, I've got a funnel linked inside of my description. It's not some masterclass or free training bullshit. It's literally just me explaining how we get coaches like yourself off the sales calls hamster wheel. It's a sales funnel. I'm not going to be hiding that. And I'm not really bothered if you click it, to be honest, but I'm just letting you know it is there. And if you are tired for trading time for money and you want a guaranteed 20 clients in the next 90 days, go ahead and click it. Anyways, that is a wrap on this one. And if it's helped you see something differently, please don't be scared to smash a like, drop a comment on what you might want to learn next, subscribe, all that kind of bullshit, and I'll catch you later.